The long-awaited X009-WRA is finally here. Today we're going to work on this 2014 Jeep Wrangler. Hello everyone, my name is Javier Vergara with the Alpine Electronics Restyle team, and today I want to show you the steps to get this done. Okay, here's a quick overview of what we're going to do to take the factory radio out. We're going to take 4 screws out. There is one on top of the dash, underneath the rubber cover, one behind the switch pot, and 2 additional ones right behind the knee cover on each side of the steering wheel column. And now we can remove the dash panel. Now that we have our dash panel out, we're going to take these 2 vents out of this section because we're going to place them on the new radio bezel. Right after that, we're going to cut along this line because that is where our new radio bezel will attach. As you can see, we trimmed out our dash panel. We transfer the vents over to the X009 radio bezel. So now we can mount the dash panel back on and connect everything else. And now to remove the factory radio, we're going to remove these 4 7mm screws. So the next step will be to get rid of this metal bracket, and we're also going to cut this section out. Okay, as you can see, we trimmed out our section already, and we took our bracket. We also ran our GPS antenna. So we mounted our GPS antenna here and routed the cable over to the radio cavity. So now we have our GPS antenna ready to go. Okay. Here's our microphone location right above the rear view mirror. All right, so now it's time to flash our Maestro module, and the first thing we got to do is plug it in with the provided cable. Right after that, we're going to go to the iDataLink website, and then we're going to select the iDataLink Maestro page. From there, we're going to click on Flash Your Module. After selecting Flash Your Module, we're going to go and click on Flash by Vehicle. So we're going to select the make, which is Jeep, the year, which is a 2014, and the model, which is obviously Wrangler. This Wrangler happens to be the standard, it's not the unlimited. And then we're going to select the trim. In this case, this one does not have phone on the radio, so we're going to select without phone on radio. And now we can select the steering wheel that this vehicle is equipped with. In this case, it does not have phone button, so we're going to select the next one, and then we're going to click confirm. And now we're going to select the brand of the head unit, which in this case is Alpine. We're going to select the model, which is X009-WRA. And now we enter the 8-digit serial number. This serial number, you guys can find it on the head unit itself, or you can find it on the box. And then we're going to click next. Now we can choose the OEM systems we want to retain. In this case, we do want to retain the steering wheel controls. This vehicle is not equipped with the AV cluster display, so we can deselect that. We do want to display gauge information. This Jeep is not equipped with the factory amplifier, so we don't need that. And it also does not have park assist, so we can get rid of that as well. We do want to display vehicle information, so we'll leave that highlighted. And then we're going to click next. Okay. Now we can select the steering wheel commands we want to have in this Maestro. In this case, I like the way it is: volume up, volume down, source. There aren't any commands that I really want to set on the second command, so it's press and hold. But in case any of you want to select a different command, then you guys can click on the drop-down menu and select whatever else you want to highlight. Okay. So in this case, we'll leave it the way it is, and then we're going to click next. Okay, now it's going to start flashing. So for your records, if you look on the right hand side, there's a print wallet card icon here. If you want to print a copy of the commands that you guys have programmed on the Maestro, then you guys can do so. In this case, I don't need it, so I'm going to click out. Okay, so flashing is almost there, and now we're completed. Now we can take this Maestro module and attach it to the main harness. Okay, so now that we flash our Maestro module, we attached it with a couple of zip ties. We are going to plug in our OBD2 connector here. And then we're going to plug this in. Once we plug this in, we're going to secure it back here with a couple of zip ties so it doesn't move around. And right after that, we're going to bring in the head unit so we can plug in the rest of the wires. So our head unit is mounted now. We use the existing factory screws. We routed the cable on the top left corner of the head unit because that's where our connection is on the radio bezel. Now, one thing to make sure is that you use a hand tool. Do not use a power tool because you may damage the side of the nose piece of the head unit. Okay. So now we're going to bring in the dash panel. We're going to put that back on, and then we'll attach our radio bezel. Okay. Now our installation is completed. Now we can check if the vehicle is communicating with the Maestro and the head unit. So we're going to turn the key on and check those functions. So we're going to press OK. Check the radio. Okay, and we're going to press and hold the favorites button to get to access the information screen. And as you can see, we have tire pressure, we have doors indicators, and we also have voltage. So now we're going to go over to the gauge display. So as you can see, our information is working properly. Now we can check this vehicle out of here. And that's a wrap. Our installation is finally completed. Till next time.